entirety of the year, what was your favorite part of it, personally? Like highlights, best memory of the year?
I mean, just going on that little stretch that we did. I think it started with like Florida or I think Missouri or something like that. But that little stretch of ranked opponents that we had to play. That the week before we started that little run, we came in as a team. We sat down like, hey, this is what we got to do, and you know what we want. We're trying to be at the end of the year, and in order for us to be there, we have to win all these games, and that's what we did. And those guys, they responded well. They came out there, no nonsense or anything like that. They came to play football, and we made it.
Eric kind of said the same thing. He said it was after that South Carolina loss.
Right.
So the team kind of came together,
Right.
didn't lose focus, and got back to the SEC championship. So it seems like that was a universal thought of how the season went. But give me one specific play maybe that you had that you're like, that was fun.
I mean, it's a
Yeah,
lot
but you
of
had quite a
plays.
few because last year towards the end, you were having some trouble. This year you ended strong.
All right, last.
So I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I can remember, man, is definitely that fourth down stop against Florida. That definitely sparked us a little bit. Gave our offense the ball, great field position. And those guys went down there and did what they had to do, man. So that's what
I think coming into with your signing class, Georgia had lost 3 in a row to Florida. Now you've won 3 in a row in your 3 years. How's it feel?
feel real good, man. Just to, help turn the program around. Be the guys that kind of spark that. That's real special, and I plan on, still being a part of that tradition and keeping it going.
Well, that sounds like you're coming back. So, I mean, if you say you're going to still be part of it.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Even if I'm here, I'm not. I'm still gonna be a part of it.
Richard, I heard about
Buying in and getting what we need to do to, take a team down on Saturday.
Is there any danger that next year it could, be a bigger name defense that now you'll be more established and
I don't see it too much as that. I see it as being the same thing as it was this year. More about business, not really about the names and accolades.
How when JR was at the Thorpe Award ceremony, he talked about how you guys kind of knew early in the season what you were dealing with on the offensive side, that it just wasn't quite what it was the year before. I mean, was there ever any sort of frustration or any or maybe not even frustration, but maybe kind of a come together thing like, all right guys, this is what we've got to do as a defense to give us a chance to win every Saturday?
I mean, not too much because you go on to control what you control. Man, we go over there and we play as hard as we can, and the offense picks us up when we're down. And we pick them up when they're down. We just able to go out there and help each other because that's what a football team is, man. We wasn't never worried about the offense or anything like that because we know those guys specialize in their positions, and Coach Coley gonna get everything together. And all those guys over there, they're not going out there looking to lose again. Those guys come out there and they practice hard and they play hard, and they're a reflection of us. And when we play good, you know what I'm saying? They definitely picked us up. And when they don't, we definitely pick them up. So it's just, it's back and forth. We work hand in hand. It's not really, too much of us worrying about each other's performance.
Talking to guys during the week this year, it seemed like they were saying that there were certain periods of practice, certain days, certain weeks where the offense would kind of go good on good, and the offense would get the better of you guys. Did that actually happen? I mean, were they kind of giving y'all trouble in practice?
Definitely, that still happens. The offense not gonna lay down. Those guys are real competitive. Those guys come out there and play defense. Man. You know what I'm saying? We're not too much, focus on that or how the offense plays, anything like that. We're gonna control our room and how we do things over there. Step up. Now this year we're gonna have the same thing happen. Those guys are ready to play.
Richard, JR's a guy who makes a lot of calls back there in the back end, make sure everybody's lined up, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, he's not here. Do you assume a lot of those roles? Obviously, you're the guy who's played the most back there. Does that just become your role now? Or?
Definitely, that's always been kind of my role. We go back and forth, whenever we can help each other, make the calls and things like that, we try to. Can't say we're going to replace them or anything like that. We just want to make sure our communication lines are still strong and, get those guys lined up and be able to play football.
I think he was more of a field guy and you're more of a boundary guy. Is that right? I mean, does that change or does that stay the same?
I mean, it pretty much stays the same. We got guys behind them that's ready to play. That's fully capable of making the calls and being able to help the defense, get lined up and play.
Who's that guy or one or two guys you think that's going to end up on the field more now that JR's out of the way?
We got a few guys that's able to come in, that is capable of playing. Don't really know who's going to, get the start or anything like that, but I know all those guys, whoever go in is fully capable of doing the job and getting it done.
Are Otis and Lewis two of those guys that could do it?
Yeah, definitely. Otis, Lewis, Chris Smith, all those guys are capable of going and playing that position.
What are the differences between those three guys?
All of them fast, physical, very smart guys. Those guys got a lot of range in that position, and being able to pick the defense up is what they did, pretty good. And Lewis, he's definitely, a pretty freakish athlete, being able to learn two positions back there, such as, so as Otis and so as Chris Smith have learned both of those positions at a strong. So, all those guys bring, the same type of energy and a lot of enthusiasm to the game of football.
No real differences?
Not really.
What's it been like for you, Richard, to be the leader back there? I mean, you've obviously been a talent since you've come in, and everybody knows what your second half of the season you've played exceptionally well. But to take over that secondary and be a leader for the bowl practices, what has that felt like for you? What has that been like?
I mean, I enjoy it. Getting to know those guys, all throughout the year, and knowing their strengths. That's something that I can build on. And it's like being an extra coach back there, and helping these guys get lined up, and when you do it, and when it all comes together, man, it's real fun. And so I enjoy doing that. I enjoy being back there with those guys, and every day coming in, seeing their faces and smiling and having, great conversation with them. That's something more, and something bigger than football. It's just like a brotherhood that we got back there. All those guys, brought into the system and able to, get the fundamentals and get the scheme ready so we can play ball.
You and Jake came in here together, and you guys are obviously
Me and
both
who? I'm sorry.
Jake Fromm.
Yeah.
You guys know very notable guys in that class.
Yes, sir.
And now you're both in a position where you could go or could come back. Will you talk to Jake, and is there any, will you hear what he's doing, and does he know what you're doing? Is it kind of that kind of deal?
I mean, that's 100% on Jake and his family. I'm not, kind of basing my decision off his or anything like that. I'm really not focused on that and stuff right now. But, I'm not really focused on my decision.
When you guys came in, did you guys have goals? I mean, as far as reaching the national championship game, I guess you did that as freshmen, winning the East. I mean, did you talk about those things when you came in, and is that something that's still?
Yeah, definitely. We had, goals that we looked up to. Pretty much completed a lot of those. Still got some, to go. But as far as getting the job done and things like that, we always plan on, improving and getting better.
Have you gotten your draft grade, and do you know what you're going to do as you sit here?
No, sir. I haven't got my draft grade. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I ain't really focused on that right now. Focus on the game.
Is it something you'll have to think about after the bowl?
I mean, yeah, possibly, depending on, how I look at it or stuff like that.
Are you leaning one way or the other?
No,
Really? It's like 50-50.
it ain't even 50-50 right now. It's just 100% here and 100%, focus on Baylor. Ain't too much no numbers on it.
What have you seen from Baylor?
Real good team, man. Fast and physical. One play away from being in that playoff Saturday. Those guys are coming out. And they, only lost twice to the same team, which they should have won. So, those guys are real good, real physical football players, and I respect them a lot.
Richard, I know you're focused on this game, but what LSU is doing right now is kind of historic, and they put, I guess, 62 on Oklahoma. Does it make you feel any better about the way you guys played against them, or do you guys feel like you had more and you could have done even better?
I mean, that is what it is. It happened. What happened. Congratulate LSU. They're a great football team. Great players, great coaching staff, and I commend those guys on what they were doing.
Everybody talks about scheme, this scheme. How much of it is scheme versus just having players and making plays, in your opinion?
I mean, as far as like football,
yeah,
it's I think it's 50% scheme, 50%, what you want to do. When you wake up in the morning, players have their mindset on if they're gonna make that play or not. It's all what you want to do. The scheme can only get you so far. You can be in the right place at the right time, but if you don't decide to make a play, then the other guy is. So when you come out there, you gotta come with that mindset that you're gonna dominate and do what you gotta do to get the job done. And that's kind of how I wake up every day and think of the game of football and basically life too.
Is there any part of you that feels like you can get it maybe a little bit of, I don't want to say redemption, but just a chance to play a little bit better against after the LSU game and maybe something to prove it all?
Yeah, definitely to say that. I definitely want to come out there and show the world how we play as a football team. That last performance really don't reflect us too much. But we come out there, we line up, and we're gonna show how to play football and go against a great team in Baylor.
What did you see from Denzel Mims, number 5, their receiver? What did you see from him?
Definitely real fast, big body guy, being able to catch the ball, remind me a lot of Derek. Real physical guy also, and so he's very fast. People don't see it on film, but that guy really good movement.
Dan was talking about no-name defense. When did that start? When did you hear that for the first time?
I'm really just starting to first hear that.
Yeah.
I ain't too much, too fond of that.
Well, I mean, nobody made the Associated Press first team defense. I don't know if you guys took note of that, but is that kind of surprising considering how this defense led the league in total defense, scoring defense, and rush defense?
Yeah, that's kind of surprising. They're all accolades that our defense got a collectively that we weren't able to. I know, our linebackers, D-line, those guys deserve it. Those guys played the butts off this year. And, there's not too many, really focus on that, those accolades, things like that, because we know at the end of the day, how our defense was and how we came out there practice, and I see those guys every day. Aziz, Monty, Eric Stokes, Michael Barnett, Tate Crowder, those guys like that, man, those guys are amazing. And, too many, people focus on the wrong things. Those guys, I don't think they're too focused on accolades also. I think we come up, we line up and play football. And, that's all that matters on, Saturdays.
How much of that had to do, though, with the fact that you guys played 25, 26 guys regularly? I'm not talking about in a given game, you guys could have played 40 guys.
Yeah.
How much, and then on your end, how you obviously never had a chance to do that before, not at high school, not in your first 2 years here. What was it like playing with that many guys?
Just to show you how much depth that we have as a defense. Guys get gassed. We come out there and we get them for a play, and it doesn't fall. It doesn't fall off at all. Everybody, on our defense is fully capable of playing, and they know the scheme. And so, when that's happening, you're fully capable of, playing 25 to 40 guys, every Saturday, and that's something that, we as a defense, I'm proud of, because the more guys, the more opportunity that you have.
Did you ever have any moments during the season where somebody flashed in front of you, where'd you come from? I didn't even know you were on the field, type of thing?
Yeah, definitely a few times with Okoye, playing definitely Aziz and things like that, and Nola. Those guys come out of nowhere, they make plays because those guys are physical.
Is there a way, and I get everybody looks at the school and the responsibilities differently, but some guys not at the bowl, some guys going pro early. The college game, there's so many responsibilities. How hard is it to do the class, to show up at the workouts, and do you think that's part of the reason why some guys look to go pro early, just because college ball is such a grind?
It is a grind, man. I can't even sit right here and say it's not. It's definitely difficult. It's not. If you're weak, you're not going to survive this because it's different. You got to have a mindset that's different, totally different to others than your peers, the guys you went to high school with, the guys that you grew up with, because simply you're basically on a job, on a full-time job, and you got to go out there. You got to do what you got to do. So it's just like, maybe that's some of the reason or something like that. But still, it's a lot of pressure on us as athletes, doing school and football. But a lot of guys are made for it. Do what they got to do.
Did it take you long to adjust? You seem very well adjusted now.
Not too much. I had the opportunity to have older guys, such as my best friend Rick McMillan that went to Ohio State. Just picking his brain and sometimes go up there and see his type of schedule that he used to deal with and things like that. So when I got to college and went really a slap in the face, it was just. I knew that I had to do this and I had to adjust to this type of schedule, and so I was good.
Eric Stokes just called you a ball hawk. Says that if the ball's on the ground, number 2 is probably around it. How do you go about always making sure you're involved in a turnover? It seems like you've always been there.
Those guys create the turnover. I'm the cleanup man. Those guys go out there and they sacrifice and they do everything that they got to do, to create havoc. I've been fortunate enough to be around the ball a lot. Running to the ball is definitely something I pride myself on doing. And I really don't get that much chances on that perimeter and things like that because Eric don't let too many people catch the ball on him.
Do you think one of the reasons like that this defense came together this year was that Dan Lang talked about the no-name defense part about it, that there was this kind of collective effort, and combine that with competition from the Nolan Smiths and N'Kobe Deans coming behind, it became a defense that just gelled.
Yeah, I mean, you could say no-name defense. I see it as a lot of name defense. It's like all those guys come in there and they're capable of playing. So you can't really sit here and single out this one person, because it's 11 guys on that field that's able to make a difference in that football game every time they step out there. And so sometimes you get overshadowed, about some personal accolades or one individual performance, but our defense is built around